Hello everyone, we are the Group 5 and in this video, we are going to discuss the impact of air pollution in the marine environment. So first of all, my name is Raymond Enmaniana.
My name is Arlan Erojan.
And I'm Sunny Mejia.
I'm Sloan Vince Joseph.
And again, we are the Group 5 from BS Mari 3 Charlie. So in this video, we have topics to discuss. The first one to discuss is the impact of air pollution in the marine environment. And then the second one is the proliferation of air pollutants in history and discuss its ecological, environmental, and financial damage caused by the air pollution. The impact of air pollution on the marine environment. Air pollution has long been recognized as a threat to terrestrial ecosystems, but its impact on the marine environment is equally significant. The proliferation of air pollutants has disrupted the delicate balance of ocean ecosystems. So it means that air pollution has contributed to long-term ecological, environmental, and financial damages. In this video, we will explore how air pollution affects marine life, the history of its proliferation, and the consequences of its environmental threat.
Understanding marine air pollution. Marine air pollution refers to the emission of harmful gases and particulate from ship, port operation, and coastal industries. The primary pollutants include carbon monoxide, a colorless, odorless gas produced by the incomplete combustion of fuel. Nitrogen oxide, formed during combustion. These gases contribute to smog and acid rain. Particulate matter, tiny particles of soot and other materials that can be inhaled and cause respiratory problem. Volatile organic compounds, a group of chemicals that evaporate easily, contributing to smog and ozone formation. Other pollutants, sulfur oxide, a gas formed when sulfur-containing fuels are burned, greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide and nitrogen oxide, which contribute to climate change. Air toxic, certain compounds known or suspected to cause cancer or other serious health effects, such as benzene, formaldehyde, and diesel particulate matter. The sulfur oxide, released from burning high sulfur fuels, leading to acid rain and respiratory problems. Nitrogen oxides, a major contributor to smog and ocean acidification. Carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas accelerating climate change. Particulate matter, tiny particles causing respiratory diseases and reducing air quality.
So in the understanding of marine air pollution, we have the sulfur oxides, also known as the SOx. Then we have the nitrogen oxides, also called as the NOx, and the carbon dioxide, or CO2. And lastly, we have the particulate matter, also known as the PM. So these pollutants originate from heavy fuel oil combustion, inefficient engines, and poor emission controls.
Historical proliferation of air pollutants. Number one is the Industrial Revolution in 18th to 19th century. The Industrial Revolution marked the beginning of large-scale fossil fuels consumption. Steamships powered by coal released enormous amount of sulfur and carbon emission, leading to severe air quality deterioration and the early sign of acid rain. The Industrial Revolution was a period of major mechanization and innovation that began in Great Britain during the mid-18th and early 19th centuries, and later spread throughout much of the world. The British Industrial Revolution was dominated by the explosion of coal and iron. So among the most important invention of the first Industrial Revolution was the steam engine and spinning jenny, cotton gin, and telegraph. The second industrial revolution brought the advent of the internal combustion engine and controlled electricity. The second one is the Great Smog of London in 1952. One of the deadliest air pollution events in history, the Great Smog of London killed thousands due to excessive coal burning. While not directly tied to shipping, this disaster was wake-up call to the dangers of uncontrolled emission, influencing future marine regulation. During the period of the fog, huge amount of impurities were released into the atmosphere on each day during the foggy period. The following pollutants were emitted: 1,000 tons of smoke particles, 2,000 tons of carbon dioxide, and 140 tons of hydraulic acid, and 14 tons of fluorine compounds in addition, and perhaps the most dangerous 370 tons of sulfur dioxide were converted into 800 tons of sulfuric acid.
So in the first one, the Industrial Revolution in the mid-18th to 19th century was the influence of the steam engine. It is influenced by the power of coal burning, and it was the effect of the sulfur and carbon emissions. Although on the second one, the Great Smog of London, although it was not related to shipping, or entirely directed tied to shipping. That disaster was the wake-up call for the shipping industries to control their air pollution.
The three, the Exxon Valdez oil spill in 1989, also best known as an oil spill. This event also contributed to air pollution. The burning recovered crude oil and evaporative emission led to toxic air contamination, causing respiratory illness in local communities. On March 24, 1989, the oil tanker Exxon Valdez ran aground in Prince William, South Alaska, spilling 11 million gallons of oil. The ecologically sensitive location, season of the year, and large scale of this spill resulted in one of the largest environment disaster in the US. Number 4, IMO 2020 sulfur cap regulation impact 20%. In response to increasing environment concern, the International Marine Organization, or IMO, implemented the sulfur cap regulation in 2020. This reduced the sulfur content in marine fuel, forcing shipping companies to transition to cleaner alternatives or installing exhaust gas cleaning system. The IMO 2020 sulfur cap effective January 1, 2020 mandates a reduction in the permissible sulfur content of fuel oil used on ship from 3.5% to 0.5% globally, except in designated emission control areas where the limit remains at 0.1%.
Environmental and financial consequences. Marine air pollution has far-reaching consequences, both environmental and financial. Environmental consequences: acid rain, sulfur oxide emissions mix water vapor, forming sulfuric acid that damages marine ecosystems. Ocean acidification: excess CO2 dissolves in seawater, harming shell-forming organisms. Acid rain lowers pH in coastal waters, reaching toxic metals like aluminum, which harms fish and invertebrates. It also dissolves calcium carbonate, weakening corals and shellfish. Ocean acidification caused by CO2 absorption reduces carbonate ions, slowing coral growth and shell formation in mollusks like oysters and clams. It also disrupts fish behavior, affecting predator avoidance and navigation. These changes destabilize marine ecosystems, reduce biodiversity, and threaten fisheries and coastal economies.
So, in environmental consequences of marine air pollution, also has the health impacts. In health impacts, airborne pollutants contribute to lung diseases, especially in coastal communities. So most likely, the victims of marine air pollution was the communities living in the coastal areas.
Financial consequences. Economic losses. The Exxon Valdez spill cost over $7 billion in damages and cleanup. Next one is shipping industry costs. Compliance with IMO 2020 regulations required billions in fuel modifications and scrubber installations. The next one is port disruptions. Smog and poor air quality can lead to delays and economic inefficiencies. Maritime pollution has significant financial consequences. The Exxon Valdez oil spill, which cost $7 billion in damages and cleanup, exemplifies the severe economic toll of oil spills, including legal settlements, environmental restoration, and lost fisheries. Compliance with IMO 2020 regulations aimed at reducing sulfur emissions from ships required billions in fuel modifications and scrubber installation, forcing shipping companies to invest heavily in cleaner technology or switch to costlier, low-sulfur fuels. Port disruptions caused by smog and poor air quality can lead to delays, congestion, and reduced efficiency in cargo handling, impacting global trade and increasing costs for businesses reliant on maritime transport.
Current and future regulation. To combat marine air pollution, several international regulations have been established, like MARPOL Annex 6. So MARPOL Annex 6 limits the sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide emission from ships. The Annex 6 focuses on controlling emission from ships, including nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide, and ozone depleting substance or ODS, particulate matter or PM, volatile organic compounds or VOCs, and greenhouse gases. Emission control areas or ECAs, strict air quality zones requiring the ultra low sulfur fuels. The emission control or ECAs, it allows for the designation of ECAs where more stringent standards for sulfur oxide, nitrous oxide, and PM emission. These are required to minimize air pollution. Alternative fuels. The rise of LNG, hydrogen, and electric powered vessel as sustainable options. So some ships are using these alternative fuels to reduce or minimize the air pollution that come from ships.
So, while regulations have significantly improved air quality by the use of current and future regulations, continued innovation is essential for a cleaner future. So, for the conclusion and call to action, air pollution ulit. Magunay ka. 3, 2, 1, action. So, for the conclusion and call for action, air pollution poses... 3, 2, 1. Ulit, sorry.
Mababasa mo ba?
Conclusion and call to action. Air pollution poses a serious threat to the marine environment, affecting water quality, marine biodiversity, and climate stability. Emissions from ships contribute to ocean warming. To protect marine ecosystem, it is essential to enforce stricter regulations like the MARPOL annexes, adopt sustainable changing practices. Addressing air pollution is crucial for processing marine life and ensuring a healthier environment. The impact of marine air pollution is undeniable, but change is possible through strict regulations, technological advancements, and global cooperation. Through strict regulations, technological advancements, and global cooperation, we can ensure that the oceans remains a source of life, not pollution. So,
So we are the Group 5 and thank you for watching.